Well, we are back. Did you miss me? This is Howlin' Jim Jackson, and you are on 112 FM Bandito Radio, baby. You know this is the hub where the restless and creative come to play, baby. Toy photographers, collectors, artists of all walks of life, baby. We are for the culture. We are your hub. We are your safe space. And we keep getting more submissions for new music, baby. I love it. Are you an independent artist that wants to join our roster and get your music out to the masses? Well, we want to hear from you, baby. 112banditoradio@gmail.com, or reach out to any of those fine fellows at Art Frog Entertainment, and we'll get you out there, baby. We'd love to hear you. So let's dive into another block of what we like to call Bandito Radio, with yet another full clip of fully loaded outlaw tunes to ease your soul, baby. Speaking of new artists, let's kick this block off right with one of the newest artists to our camaraderie of crazy. The song is Warlord, and the artist is Iron Spires. You know what I'm gonna say, baby. Turn it up! Ow!
New artist alert. New artist alert.
This is Howlin' Jim Jackson, and you are listening to 112 FM Bandito Radio. This song is called Eternal Worlds, the Stereo Flowers. Turn it up, baby!
Sometimes it's all over, but that time ain't tonight. The world's full of empires, pride, rise, great empires.
You are listening to Howlin' Jim, and you are on 112 FM, Bandito Radio.
Slide about my carcass and fill a cup with lukewarm pride. Me still ain't that social. All the hearts I had just died. Been told there was some bootstraps. What? How supposed to pull? I've never been much one for farming, but even I know that shit's bull. I can't pay. I got tenants to bowl. I can't pay. I got tenants to bowl. But there's a hole in my bucket, so the soup just drowns my feet. Every time I go to order, all the wall wanna do is beef. Lord lands, their feet up, fat cats they only grow. I can't pay, I got tenants to bowl. And the lost my shadows far behind me, looking for some place to hide. My lunch it's high blood pressure with a side of cold pink eye. Things are looking up now. The better winds done start to blow. My teeth green taste so funky. Oh shit, that's asbestos. Until the funk can't save me now. I hit the club one with my cow. Get on down. Until the funk can't save me now. I hit the club one with my cow. Get on down. That's right. Fuck you, cow. I can't pay. I got tenants to bowl. I can't pay. I got tenants to bowl. But there's a hole in my bucket, so the soup just drown my feet. Every time I go to order, all the wall wanna do is beef. Lord lands, their feet up, fat cats they only grow. I can't pay, I got tenants to bowl. And the law said,
That was Mount Cyanide, 112 FM, Bandito Radio.
Sick of all this love shit steady on my mind. If I'm lying, then I'm flying, think I'm losing it. I thought you was the one, it could've been fate. I know it won't for us when we was in and out of states. My last gang showed me not to trust nobody. My stick in the box got me feeling like I'm Roddy. I done took too many shots, it should've been his body. I'm heartless as fuck, so I don't cry no more, ayy. As time go, Millie go by flow. Mind your business if you see me cooking up by the stove. I'm with a bad bitch, who will check we cashin'. Jody back with 100 badges, know I'm taxing, ayy. If a soul think they got one up on me, got another one coming cause they cannot clone me. Crazy story, I can go outside for nothing. You can love me or hate me, baby, I'm still thuggin'. I've been moving presidential, I don't need no deal. Too hard on myself, I've been missing meals. Say depression, but I ain't stressing about a nigga, I learned my lesson. The next day, got this hoe tryna sex me. Got them boys on the phone tryna set me up. I talked about my pain, now them niggas tryna wet me up. Just 2 weeks ago, my best friend had the buck to set me up. So keep calling, I keep on banging. Keep them hoes from around me, bet my boys and get the slanging. So keep calling, I keep on banging. Keep them hoes from around me, bet my boys and get the banging. My last thing showed me not to trust nobody. My stick in the box got me feeling like I'm Roddy. I done took too many shots, it should've been his body. I'm heartless as fuck, so I don't cry no more, ayy. As time go, Millie go by flow. Mind your business if you see me cooking up by the stove. I'm with a bad bitch, wait, check the cash in. Shorty back with 100 bands, just know I'm taxing, ayy. I just know this music shit gon' take off. Wonder if they miss me, gon' be hard for me to shake off. My voice enough to pay off. I can stay long.
That was Ray Millie. Hello, outlaws and outlawettes. You are listening to Howlin' Jim, and you are on 112 FM, Bandito Radio.
Move me with you, baby. Yeah. I just wanna move me with your loving. Yeah.
She cruising past the fashion district. My homies told me not to risk it. She wants my love, my mind was twisted. I started feeling underdressed for this shit. What can I do to make the first move if I don't know you, for instance? I don't need to know where your lips have been in any universe you attend. The way the wind would blow your hair, you're in my mind, you're everywhere. And I will try to hide it underneath designer wears, knowing I can't afford the finest. You worth the world and I was just trying to remind you. You don't need me to co-sign you. I'll travel the world to find you. If I move for you, tell me you move for me. If I move for you, just tell me you move for me. If I move for you, tell me you move for me. If I move for you, what you gonna do for me? What you gonna do? With you, oh, just to ride with you. Gucci, Chanel, Prada or YSL. I promise shorty not to tell. She love everything Noel, Fendi, Dior. I buy her Louis, she call me Amor. She look in my closet, it look like a store. She look in my eyes and wanted some more, some more.
Yet another great jam by Noel. You are tuned in to 112 FM on your radio dial. This is Bandito Radio. You're so great, you're the one. All down noise and it sounds like fun. You know it all, you talk a lot. Now you're great, it's all you got. Friends are here, gather around. Those and all when the cranks around. They know it all, they talk a lot. Now you're great, it's all you got. You're so great, you're the one. All sounds nice and it sounds like fun. You know it all, you talk a lot. Now you're great, it's all you got. David Koresh Choir.
Love's a teacher, it'll show you the way, but it don't promise easy, come what may. Like a child reaching out to touch a flame, even when they're warm, they play the same game. Oh, I'll be there holding her tight through the darkest hours, through the coldest night. But I gotta know she's strong enough to ride out the storm when the waters get rough. Life don't ask if you're ready or not. It'll test your will, it'll take your shot. But I'll stand beside her through thick and thin, with a steady hand and a heart to win. Oh, I'll be there holding her tight through the darkest hours, through the coldest night. But I gotta know she's strong enough to ride out the storm when the waters get rough. Love's a wild river, it'll cut you deep, through the highs and lows, through the pain we keep. But we hold on tight, we don't let go, 'cause the strongest love is the one we grow. I'll be there holding her tight through the darkest hours, through the coldest night. But I gotta know she's strong enough to ride out the storm when the waters get rough. So here's to the lessons, the ones that burn. Every scar's a page, every tear we earn. In a world full of heartache and skies that turn gray, love still shines at the end of the day.
That was Southern Scars.
I'm not entirely happy with this.
Silas Turner. Are you ready for a new era of storytelling? Advent Comics is here, delivering hard-hitting action, unforgettable characters, and worlds that'll blow your mind, baby. Dive into the gritty streets of Southside, where heroes walk a razor's edge between justice and vengeance. Or join Dalton Malone as he hunts in the darkness where no one else dares. From cosmic battles to street-level justice, Advent Comics has it all. The stories are bold, baby, and the action is relentless. The adventure never stops. Advent Comics. The future of comics starts now. Are you ready? This is Howlin' Jim Jackson, and you are listening to 112 FM, Bandito Radio. That groovy tune was brought to you by Stratos. This is Howlin' Jim Jackson, and you are listening to 112 FM Bandito Radio.
New artist alert. New artist alert.
Inspires. Stay tuned, my lively, lovely, loyal listeners. Action Figure Frequencies is right around the corner.
He's always tempting me. I got the recipe. I wanna see your world. See that you won't hurt me. I know that look in your eyes. My type of guy in disguise. What will it take to be mine? Ooh, I wanna see your world. Ooh, I wanna be your girl. Ooh, tell me we gon' be alright tonight. Ooh, I wanna be your girl. Ooh,
afraid to lose. We could choke what side, drink to her more time. Can't be committed because I'm not in the sharing mind. Just my opinion, I'm damned if I ever told a lie. Not to say my type is me with the wrong guy. There's something about you that got me putting my pride aside. I wanna see your world. I wanna be your girl. Tell me we gon' be alright tonight. I wanna see your world. I wanna be your girl. Tell me we gon' be alright tonight.
He's always tempting me. I got the recipe. I wanna see your world. See that you won't hurt me. I know that look in your eyes. My type of guy in disguise. What will it take to be mine?
That was Ray Millie. Hello, outlaws and outlawettes. You are listening to Howlin' Jim, and you are on 112 FM, Bandito Radio.
No back of the bus, we lift the bus. Ridiculous, no need to fuss on what we did for us. No handouts, we hand out hands. We've been bout plans of 40 acres of land, they can't cage us. I'm so Luke Cage, amazing, gracious enough to spare the brute fade unless they really want it. And I ain't ducking from it, I'm static. We shock them till they get it, I guess they gotta have it. The roadblock of the block, small enough to be a dock. Smooth as miles with the jazz, Captain Sam with the plan. I can, I guess I'm really good in the jam. The rest is up to Rick when he come through with the band. We got what it takes to be a hero. They see it everywhere, wherever we go. We here to say the day and all the people. Repeat, bro. We know we got what it takes to be a hero. They see it everywhere, wherever we go. We here to say the day and all the people. Repeat, bro. I'm melanin man, defy your felonious plans. I know you jealous, but damn, don't you dare insult my intelligence. Sam was never my uncle, just a super villain. Hopped in the phone booth, protect the women and children. Frankly, Franklin, we the most level-headed. Peanuts to an elephant, don't let it regret it. We up, boy, you better know your hate is pathetic. I'm loose fox with the toys, so you know I'ma get it. Neighborhood was Krypton, get green like it's John Stewart. Make me pull out my ring, homie, and it's on. The blue marvel I do, homie, if I'm on with the steel. They walk a blade, is here to convey that. We know we got what it takes to be a hero. They see it everywhere, wherever we go. We here to say the day and all the people. Repeat, bro. We know we got what it takes to be a hero. They see it everywhere, wherever we go. We here to say the day and all the people. Repeat, bro.
Look up in the sky. This looks like a job for.
Repeat, bro.
Fate rarely calls upon us at a moment of our choosing. I'm ready.
How about that new one from Toys, Noise, and Action Figures?
We didn't know where we were going.
there's another great jam by the Stereo Flowers. Yo, what's up, my rockin' rebels? This is Howlin' Jim Jackson, your guide through the wild soundscape of 1.12 FM, Bandito Radio. We're not just a station, baby. We're a vibe. We're a movement. A home for the restless and the creative. Ow!
Our souls, they wander night and day, bound by the light, then fade away. When you're gone, my chaos shines like a lone star lost in endless skies. Soul travel, a celestial dance, chasing dreams, giving love a chance. Though the road gets long and the night gets cold, our hearts stay warm and our love takes hold. My soul's a river, rough and wide, but you calm the waters deep inside. Your spirit's fire lights my way through endless night and breaking day. Soul travel, a celestial dance, chasing dreams, giving love a chance. Though the road gets long and the night gets cold, our hearts stay warm and our love takes hold. No matter the miles, no matter the years, your voice cuts through all my doubts and fears. This journey we're on, written in the sky, keeps our love strong as the world rolls by. Your wild spirit calms my soul, while my restless heart makes you whole. Together we're stars in the endless night, shining bright with love's pure light. Soul travel, a celestial dance, chasing dreams, giving love a chance. Though the road gets long and the night gets cold, our hearts stay warm and our love takes hold. So let's keep riding this starlit lane, through joy and love, through loss and pain. In this country song, our souls align, forever together, yours and mine.
That was Southern Scars.
Sup, nerdy? It's our turn, baby.
Look, if you ain't never been to Party City, don't you ever come to Party City, cause you wouldn't understand Party City. You're also dealing with the head of sanitation, the head of transportation, and the head of reclamation in Party City.
It's rap music from parts unknown, where the arts are disowned by the hearts made of stone, where parts of the throne have parts made of bone, and the rest were discarded from Discovery Zone.
It's rap music from Atlantis. Dive deep and you just might understand this. Got the merfolk puffin' seaweed when they see me. Real G's in the pinch like Sebastian the Crab. It's rap music from the city of party. Mountain Dew game fuel with the Bacardi. Meat in the Arby's, meth in the RV. Machine guns loaded and they signed with the Sharpie. It's
rap music from the land of Oz. Lollipop guild if they stepping wrong. Rolling on dub down the yellow brick road. Ruby mic in my hand, no place like home.
It's rap music from abandoned strip malls. Addicted to love and they're going through withdrawals. It's a cold world, better dress for a brisk fall or go down swinging like Pitfall. It's rap music from the city of party. Mountain Dew game fuel with the Bacardi. Meat in the Arby's, meth in the RV. Machine guns loaded and they sign with the Sharpie.
It's rap music from the south side of Baldur's Gate. We roll crits on the ops when we regulate. You wanna hate, there's a line, it's a bit of a wait. But here's a fireball right to your face. It's
rap music from the fringe of the fringes. We import the binges and export syringes. Swerve to emerge on the verge of the purges. Power corrupts, then it surges. It's rap music from the city of party. Mountain Dew game fuel with the Bacardi. Meat in the Arby's, meth in the RV. Machine guns loaded and they sign with the Sharpie. Meat in the Arby's, meth in the RV. Meat in the Arby's, meth in the RV. Disclaimer, the members of the Party City Machine Guns would like you to know that they in no way condone or use methamphetamines. However, for those of you who have a feeling either way about the use of methamphetamines, they are currently in the RV. So, if you do not want to be around methamphetamines, please stay far away from the RV. Thank you.
Meat in the Arby's, meth in the RV.
And yet another unique tune from Party City Machine Guns. Ow! All right, baby. You know what time it is. Your old pal Howlin' Jim Jackson is back in the saddle and riding those radio waves like a wild coyote under a neon moon, baby. You listening to 112 FM Bandito Radio, the only station that blasts through that static and straight into your soul. But tonight I got something real special lined up for all my fellow toy-loving, plastic crack collecting, action figure obsessed outlaws out there. I give you action figure frequencies. That's right, a sonic deep dive into the world of toy collecting, custom sculpting, vintage gold mines, and everything in between. Whether you're out there hunting for that holy grail figure or just trying to relive that Saturday morning magic, we've got you covered, baby. So you need to strap in, turn up that dial, and get ready to ride those radio waves, because Action Figure Frequencies is about to shake those shelves and rock the toy aisles. This is Howlin' Jim Jackson, baby, signing you into the frequency. Action Figure Frequencies. Let's roll! Ow!
Bandito Radio presents Action Figure Frequencies with your hosts, Chet Maddoxx and Alexander Storm.
Another day, another week at Action Figure Frequencies. I am your lovely, gorgeous, as always, sexy host, accompanied by one of the world's sexiest men alive. Just under me, though, let's be clear. No, I'm just kidding. Mr. Storm. How are you doing this fine day, sir?
I'm doing great, brother. Doing great. Another, action figure frequency. What can I say, man? Other than what we always say, my friend.
Yeah. What's that?
Nation to nation, coast to coast, from your tour rooms to our tour rooms to your living rooms.
Yeah.
This is Action Figure Frequencies, episode 6. And you know what? We made this cool again, brother.
Do we always make it cool? And that's the whole thing about Action Figure Frequencies, is that you tune in to Bandito Radio 112 FM and you're like, man, this music is fantastic, but I do need a break and I need some people talking at me. So we're talking at you because no one sent us anything in the fan bags. So remember, that's a thing. If you want to get out to us, you can send it over to us. You can find us on the tubes of the U's and everything else, and send us your questions because we want to know about them. Today's show is pretty epic, my friend. We are going to be talking about high price collectibles and whether or not figures are going up in price. And is Hasbro? What's a Hasbro? Is like the dinner food serving dishes from Hasbro. But we're going to get into Club Grayskull and Premium a little bit. All that and more, so make sure you stay tuned because our last topic is crazy and you don't want to miss it.
112 FM, Bandito Radio.
Always time for that, Howlin'. Welcome back, everyone. I am your host, Chet Maddoxx, and along with my other co-host, Mr. Alexander Storm, always bringing a thunder of information on this show, my friend.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. You know how we do it.
Yeah, it's been a long. I haven't seen you in such a long time.
I know. It feels like it's been less than 48 hours.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Hey, so obviously, if we're gonna talk about Hasbro Pulse Premium and Club Grayskull being a good investment or not, I think this is probably prime time for Hot Points. Don't you think?
Hot Points. Hot Points. Hot Points. Hot Points. Hot Points.
Look, I'm just gonna be honest with you, man.
Yeah.
Okay. Part of me feels like this is a cash grab. I mean, I think about all the stuff that you get for Hasbro Pulse and here's where I'm going to position it this way. Okay, Storm. Okay. This is how I'm going to position it.
All right.
Shouldn't you just be doing all this shit for just customers in general? Like, why do you need to have like Club Grayskull and fucking Hasbro Premium? Like, and let me also preface this before I hear your side, because I know you got a lot. You're long-winded about this topic as well. You pay for Hasbro Premium, and I'm only going to talk about that. I know Grayskull, I'm not paying for that shit. Mattel doesn't make anything that I want that bad. But you pay for Premium on Hasbro Pulse, and you know my experience for the last two exclusives that I wanted to get.
Yeah.
Free shipping, is it worth it? Because that's really what you're getting at this point. What do you think? What is your take? Because we just recently had another release on Hasbro Premium, and it was the Mass Divers, right? The Cobra and the Joe, or as KS Collectibles calls it at kscollectibles.com. Richard, mustard and ketchup.
Yeah. As we were talking about this in the pre-show about this, it did kind of hit me. Not so much for me. I read this because I'm on a couple of the Joe forums on Facebook, and one guy said something about the Crystal Ball release, which was about a couple of weeks ago, and he said, "Well, why am I paying for Hasbro Pulse if one, I'm getting an alert 15 minutes after this character put up that was a Target exclusive, and then I can't get it." Now, if you're handling Hasbro Pulse memberships, which it's like $50 a year, but we can't scarf it $50 a year. It's somebody's hard-earned money. There should be a point where it's like, all right, look, it's going to go. We have this many Hasbro Pulse members. We're going to put this stuff out. We're going to give them the pre-night before alert that this is going to be the situation that this character is coming up, and we're going to make sure we have supplies for our Hasbro Pulse members because they're paying for something more than the typical purchaser. Yeah. But if you get to the point you paid that $50 and you can't get it anyway, and you're still finding people who have not paid for the Hasbro Pulse, then what makes it exclusive? Well, all right, other than you're getting free shipping. Okay, great. You're getting free shipping. Now, if you use this on, let's say you buy 5 items a year, right? Okay. You're probably getting your Hasbro Pulse membership back. But it should mean something more than just free shipping. Now, Club Grayskull, again, you're right. Mattel doesn't make anything in any situation that, I don't need to, purchase like Hot Wheels early or anything else. I know there's some people out there that collect it, but, I'm not a huge He-Man fan, and I haven't seen it, nor do I purchase every now and then a WWE figure, but I don't need.
I mean, I'll give Club Grayskull a benefit of the doubt. It's $9.99 a year.
Yeah, that's 10 times in the Hasbro.
Yeah.
Now, what do you get in the Club Grayskull membership?
I mean, you get like your member only items, first access to select public sales. You can go inside castle walls with us, which is basically their way of saying like, here's what's coming out.
Yeah,
it's very tailored. It's very tailored to the Motu crew, which is cool because I think there is a very definitive group of collectors that collect Motu, and
Yeah.
it's respectable because like it's been around for a long time. But it's like you get exclusive items, priority sales, exclusive content. You get voting privileges. So you can do like members only polls and things like that, which is something Hasbro Pulse doesn't do,
Yeah, sure.
And if you think about it, then I don't know if Grayskull and someone can let us know if it does free shipping on your orders. I'm not sure if it does.
And $9.99, that would be interesting because I don't know. At $50, I'm thinking Hasbro's like, okay, if we get like, let's say we get several thousand people or something, it's worth to give that out. $9, I don't think is out to give that for free shipping. That's if they're doing that, then Mattel is they're acting a little bit more desperate than they need to be.
Yeah.
You give me $9.99, I'm actually going to pick up a Club Grayskull membership, and I don't even do Motu, but it's worth it just for that.
Yeah, I'm wondering. Yeah, they don't say anything about free shipping. I know you can only have. I'm looking it up, and it says that. Yeah, you can get so that you do get access to the priority windows. So it is like polls, like you'll get ahead of the public.
Hour or so. Mm-hmm.
It might be, and it might be beneficial. I don't think that that's specifically speaking just to Motu either. By the way, I think it's actually grab select items at Mattel Creations before the general public.
Okay, so that is kind of like because Mattel Creations is their catch-all that they've done.
Yeah.
They've done some WWE, they've done Hot Wheels, they've done Barbie, they've done with Mattel Creations. So that that works.
Yeah, one of the things they have too is like collecting community, so you connect with fans who share your passion. So that's cool. Like this is something that I'll probably end up buying. It's $10. I'll probably end up buying it just to see what it is because I think it's important, right? Like if you get into here and then Mattel knows how to handle pre-orders, like if we were to have it and we were trying to go on and they were releasing a Motu figure just for the experience and we could get on and it works properly and adds to your cart and you get priority, right? Like,
well, that's look, it's a good gift idea because then there's like Dark Moocher from the Starlight Digest podcast. He's big into some of the Motu stuff, so that's like a great gift for him because he orders stuff from there, and it'd be like, hey man, here I gifted you a Motu fan or anybody into. I know a couple of guys we know are in major Hot Wheel collectors. And so, I know they're always coming out with those red line cars and they're coming up with the golden ones and everything. So it's probably good for that, and I think if it truly is like you're getting a little bit extra time and it'd be the early windows to purchase something that the overall public can't do, that's fine. I think Mattel says that, and it's not always the case. Now, when we were ordering the snake armor and everything, this was the first time that I think all the members of the SKN crew that ordered through them, not one person had a gripe. Everybody got what they wanted. But that was after consecutive, the last 10 or 12 fan streams where like somebody, because normally one of us will have to order like double or triple just to make sure. And then the guys will be like, oh no, I got it. And it's okay. Well, then now I'll cancel this order. Because you can never, again, it's like the crystal ball thing. That was just a complete mess through the Walmart and Hasbro Pulse thing. Now I noticed this the last G.I. Joe fan stream though. It was the about 10 or 15 minutes before the actual exclusive time that you could order. They actually did send the email this time around. It wasn't a delayed email. So I don't know if the last ordering snafu with that Walmart Collector Con, which was absolutely nothing more than a con. If that came through and they made some changes to how like they were sending out their notifications, because that came 15 minutes after the 7 a.m. window in the morning. First of all, here's the stupid thing. Let me just give a moment to complain about this, chat, because there's a good complaint.
Yeah, I mean this is Hot Point, so you get to complain as much as you want.
Everyone else does it about it's about 10 a.m. Pacific time. Maybe it's like 1 a.m. or 1 p.m. East Coast time. That's a reasonable point. To have us get up at 7 a.m. in the morning here on the West Coast, and then try to put this order in. And then there's nothing but snafus, but it's like the middle of the day, because you as well as I know that mostly either somebody's at work, getting ready for work, or coming in from work at 7 a.m. in the morning. So, probably you're not thinking properly. Maybe you just wake up just to make this order in. And then imagine you woke up early, you can't get this order in. What does it do? It just sends nothing but just shockwaves of you being pissed off for the rest of the day. So
here's
maybe they should move it to like 10 a.m. like the way that Target or anyone else does things for the Walmart collector con.
Here's my favorite part about that whole thing, because I agree with you, right?
Yeah.
Remember, it's literally just a timing thing you can add on your website to release visibility. So they don't even do anything. They just put that in.
Yeah.
So you couldn't say you want to do it at 3 p.m. Eastern or 4 p.m. Eastern.
I just know
you do
that
it 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific, right? 11 Mountain.
I can't think of the common sense on this situation, but it's like, firstly, this is not first of all, it's not the stock exchange. We'll be getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning for anyways. But this is not the Western markets across the greater world or anything like some situation. It's like you're purchasing a toy and they're saying that, hey, you know what? It's going to be 10 a.m. on the East Coast, but we want everybody on the West Coast to wake up at 7 a.m. in the morning. And I'm like, and then you've got all day long, because you and I both saw this on from X to Instagram to Blue Sky to whatever social media on. It was from the 7 o'clock till the end of the day. There was nonstop people upset and mad for this thing. And I'm like, if you maybe would have put it at the middle of the day, you probably would have had a half a day of people being upset and pissed. They would have watched their local TV shows or whatever. Then the next morning they would have forgot about it.
Yeah, they added their own anger campaign on that crap.
I think so. And Walmart should know better. But because this is not their first collector's con. This is like their fifth or sixth. And then after that, we got the one of the, I'd say, worser events of the year, because at least Target's Geeking Out has gotten better. They've improved.
You mean the Haul-a-thon?
I'm talking about that NECA Screw-a-thon.
that thing is trash. I remember, was it last year that I was trying to find? Yeah, that was trash. And the only reason I was able to find it was because I was in Georgia. No one went to the Target that I was at.
But it cracked me up that it was like out weeks on the shelf before the event that nobody knew was happening. And people were always saying like, oh, I already got my thing a couple of weeks ago. I'm like, how the hell did they get this? And it was shipping in, it was already on the shelves in some Target. And then it was like, I know you just went to your local Target to go pick it up, and it was on the shelf that day. But everybody that was ordering online couldn't get it. And it was like, well, what the hell is this? Well, because they had already been at the store for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, it was dumb. And then Target was like, oh no, we just put them out. And I was like, oh no, I got all. I remember I showed you a picture. I was like, I have everything from the NECA haul-a-thon. What do you want? And it was, I even got Rad, the Prey one that was in the red box that you couldn't find forever. I was like, I don't know, it was on the shelf.
So NECA, I don't know about this. Well, first of all, here's the thing. I don't know if we're going to see the standard haul-a-thon, because NECA's pissed a lot of people off.
Yeah, I don't think NECA can do. I think it's going to be a scamathon is what it's going to be.
It's going to have to be something. It's going to have to be a redeemathon, because they're a little bit of trouble.
Because also too, my friend ordered that was on top. They had that whole trash debacle dumpster fire thing on top of the fact that people that ordered their San Diego Comic-Con exclusives from NECA didn't get them until almost the end of the year.
Yeah, that was weird.
Because I ordered the TMNT ones. I ordered 2 boxes and I got them, and then my friend didn't get his until like October last year, and it was like, he's able to find the white ones before he's able to get the actual San Diego Comic Con exclusive ones.
Well, it's actually funny if you actually got those. NECA has a habit of sending you the wrong thing, demanding it back and everything. They're threatening you.
Yeah.
So
Well,
he's lucky.
and
He's lucky
yeah,
it's
and
just that.
he was someone that would buy every NECA horror
Yeah.
figure,
Mhm.
and he stopped because they started doing all the colorways and then screwing people. Like, you would buy it, and then as soon as you bought it, they were like, "Oh, also we're doing like black and white," and he's just like,
Yeah,
"I'm
exactly.
done. Like, you either do one or the other. You're it's getting too crazy." So he's no longer a NECA purchaser either, and I'm very limited. I told you I'm limited. I purchase mostly. I do the Archie
Yeah.
version.
Well, we'll see, because that's coming up next. That's the next situation where they can have the debacle of, is like, the screwathon and everything. So
Yeah.
we got the Walmart collector scam, and then we
Yeah.
got the the NECA screwathon, and then we have the last one, which is the Hope Target Geek.
Yeah, the
Geeking out
Target Geek Out.
there. We
All
hope
those
that
yeah,
works.
the Hope ones. All of these like online things and all of this stuff between Hasbro Pulse and Premium and the collection thing, it gets to be really sweaty, you know?
It does, brother. It absolutely does.
Yeah. Like, you get really sweaty, like the sweat gets in your eyes because you're just running around Target with all the other sweaty moms trying to buy things for their kids, because typically it happens during school. That's where I'm really, really proud of one of our sponsors. You know who that is?
I know who you're talking about. Isn't that FlexBand X?
It is FlexBand X, man. All right, plastic junkies, let's talk about something serious. Like I had just mentioned, sweat. That's right. You're knee deep into a toy hunt, elbow deep into this clearance bins, mid negotiation with a dude who thinks his loose, sticker worn G1 Optimus Prime is worth retirement money. And suddenly, boom, your forehead turns into a slip and slide. That's where FlexBand X comes in. The only headband engineered for extreme toy hunters, collectors, and hardcore display architects. This bad boy is made from hyperweave fabric, meaning it absorbs sweat faster than a scalper at an exclusive drop.
That's right, Chet. FlexBand X isn't just functional, it's stylish. You get precision grip fit, so it stays locked in place, whether you're posing action figures, setting up dioramas, or throwing hands with an online seller who forgot to mention the broken knee joints.
Plus, it comes in exclusive designs like Battle Damage Black, Grail Hunter Red, and limited edition limited edition Chase variants. Gold. Oh, and for the hardcore collectors, by the way, there's even a mint in box sealed version. But let's be real, you're wearing this, you're not flipping it.
So if you're ready to level up your collecting game, head over to flexbandx.com and use the code MADFLEX for 15% off your first order. Because let's face it, sweaty toy hunters don't find grails; they just fog up their glasses.
That's right. Like you said, Mr. Storm, flexbandx.com. Use code MADFLEX for 15% off. And remember, with FlexBand X, you can collect hard and sweat less.
112 FM, Bandito Radio.
Well, my dear friend, Mr. Storm.
Yes, sir.
That brings us to the bulk and the chunky part of this great episode number 6. Let's get into the toy news.
And now, toy news.
All right, man. This almost when we were talking about what we were going to do for a show today.
Yep.
This almost, I felt like, needed to go into hot points, but I'm cool with it not being in hot points. I'm cool with it living in its world because I think there's a lot of discussion here.
Yeah.
High price collectibles. How rain down on me with your thoughts, Mr. Storm. How long do you think high price collectibles can exist?
Well, we're right now in the middle of testing probably one of the highest ones we've seen in a very long time. Outside of because I think they even exceeded even Hasbro, but it's the Mystic Legions by the Four Horsemen, their dragon. And at this moment, it looks like it's gonna, it only needs 2,000 to go into production. It looks like that's gonna happen because they've got several weeks before this campaign even ends. So that looks like that's gonna happen. And I think again, we were talking about this earlier, this is only gonna add more fuel to now you've gotten a $550 dragon. Now that's just the base dragon. That's not the extra accessories and all the other add-ons and everything else, because then that comes like way over $800. But I think this opens up the door for more toy companies to continuously do this. So now we're going to see who else now can push the button. Is there like a $625 item that they can do? Is there 700 or something? But I do think that this opened up the floodgates. If Mystic Legions and the Four Horsemen can get this done right now, this opens up the floodgates for every other independent toy company or anyone that does anything like, towards that to do.
Yeah, and didn't. Yeah, so I think I'm a little weird on this one. I think that I think there is a space for high price collectibles.
Yeah.
Okay. However, I will state this: I think that Mafex is way too overpriced.
I will give you credit on that. Yes,
because if you take a Mafex figure and you put it next to a Mythic Legions figure or something from the Four Horsemen, right? Like it doesn't add up. The quality of Mythic Legions and Four Horsemen and what they do is literally just a 1/12 scale, like Hot Toys, in my opinion. Right now, you also have these other companies where you have you have Mezco that's coming out with things. You have Mondo now is jumping into the game. And like, while I think it's cool, like I honestly haven't really been impressed with anything Mondo's released. I think it looks cool.
Yeah.
I think it's neat. It's fancy, but their price points are like god awful high. And everyone like fanboys over like the paint applications. And I'm like, but you just haven't seen Mythic Legions.
Yeah.
Like you just haven't seen it. I can get a better looking figure for a third of the cost at the same scale from Mythic Legions, and I'm going to want to go back and buy more. So I think that there's a level. So right now, in my opinion, I think we have levels of collectors, right?
Yeah, we do.
And let's also not forget that there is a segment of toys that is for kids, right?
Absolutely.
It's for kids. Playmates does it really well. But the problem I have with Playmates is Playmates also does really good high-end stuff, and they just never do it.
Yeah.
Like they just don't do it. And it's weird to me, but like Playmates did this Last Ronin PAX exclusive Last Ronin figure, and I have that, and it's really good quality, and it's got great articulation, and I'm like, well, what are we and it's funny because it's got all of that and it's at a Playmates, it's like at their price point. So
yeah, instead of like the NECA price point of it.
Yeah, and it's the real scale because it's Playmates and they're the originals.
Yeah, of course.
Here's the thing is I think high-end collectibles have a place, and I think they always will. But I think that the indie toy company is growing, and I think that it's Mafex.
Well,
I don't know if there's a place for that in the future, because
I think the same way you're saying is that, look, there's obviously you have to put like Hot Toys at the kind of like top of the mountain when it came to high end collectibles and
Sideshow collectibles and Hot Toys.
Yeah, they're kind of,
but it's also a different scale.
True, but they're kind of like when you think of like the premier high priced high end stuff, those two names come a little bit more. Then you kind of go down to where I think it's Mystic Legions, and they're not by themselves because I think Mondo's trying to do that. I just don't know if Mondo succeeded, because Mondo's all the offerings I've seen they're more just high priced, other than the quality that the Four Horsemen and Mystic Legions are giving. Now it's not like Mondo's not giving it out, but it's completely different. It's like comparing like the current Marvel Legends line to Toy Biz. Different work. They were both loved and beloved by fans. It's just that one's more highly detailed. The other one seems like it's lesser detailed. But I think that price wise, they're trying to say, hey, we're on the Mystic Legions level. Now, if anyone else goes to do something of a $550 dragon or something outside of it, will probably be Mondo, because we were talking about the Man Bat. And while the Man Bat's nice and it's huge and everything, the price points, I was like, that's probably a road too high for pricing, But Mondo's trying to get into that. Mafex now has kind of like fallen underneath Mystic Legends. They've always kind of been, but you saw at one point they were thinking that they could compete with him. But I kind of think like Mafex is like in the middle, and now with Marvel's Maximum series, I think they're neck and neck now. So I think Hasbro has moved themselves up to Maximum.
I was just gonna say that. I know that like a lot of people were gonna like hate on it, and it's fine. Bring it. I don't care. But look, we saw some people get their hands on the Maximum Series Spider-Man at the convention, and dude, it's sure you're upset because it's a Marvel Legend. It's $50. I'm like, this is great. This drives down the price of Mafex, because if I could get, I mean, this Spider-Man, I told you, I have a few Mafex. I have the Mafex Black Suit Spider-Man, and as soon as I get Maximum, that's when I'll open up the Black Suit Spider-Man to compare them. And I'm going to tell you right now, like, it's probably going to be, from posability, I think it'll probably be about the same.
Look, I think that Hasbro's incredibly smart. They have a price point in between a Marvel Legends figure and a Mafex figure. It's smart to give, because after a while, look, when you're first to the market to do something, everybody loves your work and everybody loves Mafex, and they have a history. Now everybody's giving Hasbro the crap like they haven't been building the toys for 100 years, and like they know what's missing in the market. You don't have a company in this planet, especially a publicly owned corporation, and you're not ready to compete. That's why you see way more McDonald's than you do Burger Kings now, because there was a burger war and McDonald's won. And now McDonald's can afford to serve you slop.
Yeah.
There's no Burger King as a competition anymore. They pretty much know this. But they don't understand that here in Southern California, moving out, In-N-Out Burger's coming for them. but it boils down to that's the problem. Mafex was at that point, hey, either get us or get a hot toy, or or go to Four Horsemen. But now they're like, oh no, now I got to step down below that I can get. Then I still am not getting least quality. So I really do think that's like the high-end toys. I think Mondo's the next one to try something like that. And I think whatever it's going to be on par, where it's going to be like $400 or $500. And it's going to be some form of a vehicle or something that they're going to come out of left field on. And because they're literally trying to be the complementary items to a Mystic Legions characters.
Here's where I think they get screwed. You're going to have a company come out with high quality, high end figures and undercut everybody because they know that it doesn't cost that much.
Yeah.
And when that happens and you're like, holy crap, this is like amazing quality. And let's say like a Mythic Legions figure is like $50.
Yeah.
And you make the same style figure, but you make it for $40.
Yeah, that
there's gonna be disruption, and when there's disruption and you're the one disrupting, people are going to navigate to you, and they're going to they're going to be. And when what it is that if you set your price low, okay, this is like business 101. So welcome to business class section with Chet. If you start out and you set your price low and practically give it away, now you can't give it away, but I'm just saying, like, if you set your price low, you can always go up you can always gradually go up in price. You can always justify the gradual increase, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you set your price high, you can never go down.
Yeah. Well, you know who tried to do that, and I think they did it with the wrong line. Um, was NECA when they tried to do the gargoyle line. You know, because
Oh yeah.
those were look. I thought the figures were great, and I think you gave me one, and I was like, wow. I opened this like this character. You know, great character, great sculpt. Great, like I think two things that hurt them. One was the wings were pure, like plastic, so they didn't have a fold to it. I think if you
Yeah.
could have like folded them in, I think they probably would have done better. But the second thing was it was just while there's gargoyles are beloved, there's not enough of a niche. They're kind of like Mask a little bit. They're on the like people know of them, and there's a small ravenous collectors bunch, but not enough
Yeah.
to get through. But those figures were high end figures, and the sculpts and the wings and everything, they look fantastic. They just didn't have the audience to get there. I understand what you're saying with Mystic Legions is that with the Four Horsemen and Mystic Legions, they've got one that the reason why I think the Gargoyles didn't do well was Gargoyles has a lore, but it's not really fleshed out. Mystic Legions has a lore, and he got 10 years worth of fandom that have been like really kind of like ravenous over that lore, and it's worked all the way
Yeah.
to get this dragon. It wasn't like they, it's kind of like the way the Marvel Studios did. They did the early films and then they did the Avengers. Well, this Mystic Legion dragon is technically their combination of 10 years worth of working on figures and everything. And then he said, okay, now here's a $500 dragon. They gave it time. The problem with some of these other companies is they want to, come out with 2 or 3 characters, and then there's a $500 item or something deluxe. And but there needs to be lore. You got to build a little time up. You got to go a little slow and steady. I think that's where Mondo's going to run into a mistake because Mondo doesn't build their own lore. Their lore comes from all the other IPs that they've gotten. That's
Sure,
where they're
yeah,
going to run into a
they're
mistake.
tackling Ghostbusters. It's like, I mean, you can only do so much with that, and then
Exactly.
but everyone's like, oh, it's like it's it's this size and this and that. It's like, well, those already exist though,
Mm-hmm.
and like, yeah, cool to have like an updated, well painted, paint applied figure, but also like, what are you gonna do? Because they don't do anything with the Ghostbusters anymore. No one watched the new stuff, and then everyone watches the old stuff, and that's like I watch the old Ghostbusters like once a year because it's fun.
Exactly.
But like they didn't do anything. They killed they killed the cartoon.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yep.
Which could have been like a good thing. They could have rebranded it. We talked about this a couple episodes ago, where Netflix did a really good job with Voltron, and I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's something they could have done. They could have done that and moved it somewhere else. And Ghostbusters screams anime. I'm just being honest. Like
mm-hmm.
it literally. I mean, they're great at it, right? Or at least an anime house to produce the cartoon. But
mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm with you. Like I don't know. I mean, and then you have the standard pricing of figures right now, right? Like Big Bad Toy Store just increased their prices to 27. So you're closing this gap from the bottom and the top, and there's going to be a point where we got to find out what those figure prices are going to be.
Yeah, well, like I said again, that's our next segment is going to be on that because I know we've got some issues. Look, we've been, I love to use the indexes like we always say. The toy stock market is claiming that this was months ago that we listed here that the $30 price is going to come up. We're going to talk about that a little bit later and everything. But I feel you, man. I think that some of these companies are testing the waters on what fandom will spend and what they won't spend. I will just give like a bit of advice: have some good lore behind it. Get the fans really up forward for it. Know these characters in and out and everything before you start dumping these high-end kind of things to get like, okay, well now that they bought this dragon and then they bought these HasLabs and then because it seems like every other company now is coming out with their own version of like a HasLab where we're going to kickstart this. We've seen Super 7. And while they've had a couple of successful ones, they've also had some like the giant G.I. Joe snake ship that did not go through. Same thing that happened over at Mattel Creations, the Jurassic Park gates, but then they had like Eternia that went through. So I think they're testing fandom in a way, but you better have you notice that Jurassic Park didn't go through. Why? Because it just has the movies technically. There's
Yeah.
not really that great comic books. There's not really, the toy lines are, okay, but they don't have the entire lore that you do on some of these other products, like like He-Man does have 45 or 45 plus years now of like lore behind it. So it's gonna, people want to see that a little bit more. There's a nostalgia factor from it. They've, test the waters on something with you develop the lore, give it a little time, build the fandom up, and then after you've got that well established, then hit them. And I think the Four Horsemen, the minute I saw the dragon, I'm like, this is smart. They've had 10 years in business, hundreds of toys or figures made in this line between that and the Cosmic Legions. And, fans were ready for something like this. Now, is it going to hit the 20, 30,000 mark? No, I don't think it's going to do that. I think it right now, the way it's going, maybe under 10,000, somewhere around there. But I don't think it's going to, it's not going to do something where 20, 30, 40, 50, like a HasLab, because somehow, the fandom and the price points that Hasbro has done has merit to get those kind of pricing and people going out purchasing that. Mystic Legions at 5, just for the base dragon. And I think a lot of people too get hit with the tiers on this. That there's something that when they see tiers, hey man, I gotta get all the tiers. And instead of just saying basic dragon, now I'm gonna purchase just the basic dragon. That's all I really want.
Well, I think there's some aspects where it's what are the optics of like a tier system, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's important. And we talked about this with the Rattler, right? Like tier 1, like patches. No one wants that.
Yeah.
No one wanted that. But but hey, like you wanted the Rattler, so I mean, give me patches, I guess.
Well, not only did you want the Rattler, you wanted the other figures that they put before. Now, I can guarantee you, if they would have had the figures first, and then those patches as the last tier pack, that tier ain't unlocking. That tier is not unlocking. But since they put it first, you were like, well, now that I got to get the pilot or the gunner, and then I got to get the Baroness, and now it's like, so I gotta buy these patches. But if they would have put that in correct orders, or do something like this. And this was something I thought about. We were talking about this, and I thought about it. Why not just do the smart thing and just offer the patches as a separate purchase? Like, hey, if you're buying a Rattler, then maybe you want these $9.99 patches or something, and just live and die that way.
Probably because the guy that came up with the patches is the guy that heads up Marvel and Classifieds, and was like, "This is a great idea." No one wanted to tell him no.
I think the guy that came up with the patches is no longer working there. I think he was in that first round of layoffs. I think he was gone.
He was like, dude, we were going to hold you, but I mean, we remembered you came up with patches.
Yeah, the patches idea. I think he's no longer there, bro.
Yeah. Thinking through like HasLabs and high-end collectibles, you always have this like fear, right?
Yeah.
There's always like a fear of am I going to get it? Should I get it? Do I overqualify for buying it? Which we've been doing this episode, we've been doing this series now on Bandito Radio 112 FM, and if you don't, you should check it out anywhere you can listen. If you're listening on YouTube, you can also get this on Spotify, Apple Music, Podbean, anywhere the podcasts are, and radio. And we had someone reach out to us, and I'm excited to have. I'm a big proponent of mental health.
Yeah, I am too, man. I am too. And
so this new sponsor,
it hits us both the same way, man. And this actually, when they came to us, it hit us home and everything. But let's take a moment to be serious about this, because mental health is extremely serious. It's like, do you suffer from toy FOMO, the fear of missing out on the latest action figures, exclusives, or hard to find grails? Are you refreshing your pre-order pages at 3 a.m. in the morning? Have you convinced yourself that you don't need another Batman only to buy 2 more?
Yeah, if your wallet's on life support and your shelves are crying for space, you might have toy FOMO, but don't worry, there is help.
The experts at Toy FOMO Treatment Center specializes in helping creators like you find balance, or at least an extra shelf.
They offer a simple 5-step recovery plan. Denial. I don't need another Spider-Man. Anger. Why is it sold out already? Bargaining. Maybe if I trade my kidney, I can afford a hot toy. Depression. I should have pre-ordered. And then acceptance. I'll just wait for the inevitable re-release.
And with their expert guidance, you'll learn healthy toy buying habits, responsible spending, and most importantly, when to let go.
Or, just buy it now before it goes to triple on eBay.
Chat, no. That's not what they teach.
Okay, but what if it's a convention exclusive?
My friend. Come on, man.
Right. Okay, Toy FOMO Treatment Center. They can help, probably.
Call them now and mention Action Figure Frequency to receive your exclusive No More Shelf Won't Hurt counseling sessions. Absolutely free.
And if you do see that rare figure, okay, if you do see it, maybe grab it, just in case.
112 FM, Bandito Radio.
Man, the toy FOMO treatment centers. It's wild that's a thing, but
I'll be honest with you, man. I just to bring this item up right here, speaking to Dark Moocher, and he was telling me that he overspent on some stuff, and I knew that this was the sponsor that he needed to do. So hopefully he's getting help out there again.
Well,
if
he
you
needs
need
to
it,
do that.
Call them.
And I need to do that. I mean, today, what did I order? 6 snakes and two divers.
It's getting rough out there, man. But you know what's really getting rough is when it's hitting our pocketbooks, where Big Bad Toy Store did something that is actually did the opening. Basically they've hit the opening firing shots on something that we knew was coming down. For the first time, they listed a figure, and it was a brand new figure to hit the market at $27.99, not the $24.99. They raised it to $27.99. Now everybody else is slinging out figures right now for $24.99 or $95. So we were saying this months ago, and again, if you were paying any attention to the toy stock market, you would have known that those prices was going to increase because they have been slowly pushing for the $30 figure. My question to you, Chet, is when do you believe that $30 figure price point, do you think it survives longer than 2026 at one point? Or do you think by the start of 2026, we'll start seeing the $30 figure?
I don't know if it'll be 2026. I'll put it that way.
Okay.
I think we'll see creeping through 2026, and I think end of 2026, maybe 2027, unless something crazy happens, But I think it's inevitable, right? The only thing I think is a savior here is, I don't know. I think it's inevitable 1,000%. I don't know. Hey, look, I'll even say this: mid 2026.
Okay. All right, mid 20. All right, because here's the thing: I noticed that Big Bad Toy Store is dropping their price point right now. Entertainment Earth hasn't, nor has Hasbro. But if one doesn't, you've opened up the door for that. So now we're going to start seeing, like, somebody else has probably tweaked to 26, 27, maybe 28. But I do know that once they've said they took that stance, Entertainment Earth is going to respond back to it. And a couple other toy companies out there are probably going to have to respond to that because, look, I don't think Big Bad Toy Store does this and the point to just tank their business in. I think there's somewhere that they've seen on the toy stock market that these prices are kind of headed towards that, and they're looking at the data and everything, and they're looking for the future, and they know that somehow price increasing. Look, we had Hasbro who stated that there were going to be some major delays this year with some of their the toy items coming out, which could mean that there could be, you know, some supply chain issues with, you know, something over maybe the you know, something's costing embargoes or whatever it is that's actually jumping the price up, or they're just not getting ships fast enough. Damage to some of the existing ships that are going on, but they're making plans and preparations. So a big bass sounding this order, it's going to be about a minute before we see Hasbro Pulse tick those orders up, and then we see, you know, Entertainment Earth, and we start looking at all the other places that we order. Amazon, well, because you know, if Big Bad did it, well, you know, Amazon's going to do it at one point or another.
Yeah.
So
True.
you know, we're flowing into that point of the $30 figure. So you know, again, you know, if you didn't think it was coming, it's coming. Prepare yourself mentally. You know, it's going to happen. It's just, I think what you have to do right now is just, I think there's a point of picking and choosing what you're going to purchase. You know, I think the days of, like, you know, you buying doubles and everything else of that, and I think that's the only way that you sound to the industry itself, because this could be a moment. This could be the moment where, like, you know, the industry starts, like, basically cutting their own selves because they've actually jumped too high, and they start, like, you know, not pushing out the same items. Because right now we know adults are the collecting audience that they're going after. They're not going after children anymore. But like, you start raising things to, like, you know, 27, and you're not going to get children. It's not going to happen. So again, we knew this was coming. This is just the first time that's happening, and I'm waiting for, like, you know, before the end of the year. I know it's going to be across the industry that it's going to be $27.95 or $27.99 or whatever price point they're doing. That's going to be something at the end of the year that we're going to have to live with. You know.
Yeah.
Tough,
Yeah,
man.
it's gonna be interesting, man.
Yeah, it is. It's, you know, that's the killer. We all want, you know, nice things, and we want the things we want, but, you know, again, there's always a hefty price for paying for that, man. A hefty price for paying for it. But you know what it is right now, brother. You know what it's time for. It's time for the weather.
And now, your weather forecast with Alexander Storm.
Wow, man. Back again with the weather all across the continental United States. We're going to start hitting, like we always do. We're going to get from the East Coast to the West Coast and everything else like that. So we're looking up at Washington, D.C., actually. Washington, D.C., 94 degrees. Washington, D.C. Hot day in Washington, brother. Jump down to Charlotte, North Carolina. That's right, Charlotte, North Carolina. 94, Charlotte, North Carolina. Okay.
94, huh?
Yeah. Drop. Let's see what Florida's looking like. Let's go a little south and everything. So we'll drop down to Miami, Florida. Well, we knew it was going to be. It's 94 there. It's hot, though. It's always hot.
It's hot. Yeah, it is weird.
You know. We'll jump to Duluth, Georgia, where Toy Atlanta is going to be and everything. 94, Duluth.
94. Not bad. Okay. 94.
Austin, Texas, 94. Okay, well, let's see. Belen, New Mexico. Belen is New Mexico, so it's kind of a desert. So 94, I could see that happening. You know, we're looking at Tucson, Arizona. All right, Tucson, 94. We're gonna look at Southern California, Los Angeles, 94. All right, we'll go up. Well, let's go up to I-5 and see what's in 94 in San Francisco. Let's take that I-5 all the way up, and let's get all the way up into Oregon. It's 94 there. Chet, do you know why it's 94?
I don't. I was looking it up. I was trying to figure it out.
Well, everybody's got their toy rooms heaters on a little too high and everything.
Because last week was like 64, so they didn't set the temperature right.
No, man, set too high. You better turn that down, brother. You're melting your toys, bro. You know,
you're melting those toys.
Optimal between 72 and 75 degrees. Make sure you're turning those toy rooms down and not suffocating your toys and everything else like that. That's right, man. That is the toy weather report of this week, man.
112 FM, Bandito Radio.
Well, hey, look, we got some conventions coming up, and there's a lot of travel. And when you travel and you go to conventions, you got to make sure that you have that energy, you're well fed, that you just understand where you're coming from, and that's where I love super subs.
I do too. And the question I got to ask you, sir, is: Are you hungry for something truly super? Do you crave a meal that packs the punch of a superhero origin story? Then suit up, because it's time to head to Super Subs, where every bite is legendary battle between flavor and hunger.
That's right. Storm Super Subs has the mightiest sandwiches in the multiverse. Do you want to feel invincible? Sink your teeth into the Man of Steel. Roast beef, cheddar, and horseradish punch so strong enough to send hunger into the Phantom Zone.
Or maybe you're feeling a little dark and brooding. Then try the Dark Knight blackened chicken, provolone, and a smoky chipotle aioli so bold, even Gotham's toughest vigilante would approve.
But heroes aren't the only ones getting in on the action. If you're feeling diabolical, why not indulge in the Dr. Doom melt? Spicy pastrami, Swiss cheese, and whole grain mustard so sinister it just might take over the world.
And Chet, let's not forget about the legendary creators. Honor the master of comics with the Stanley, a New York pastrami classic with enough said flavor.
Plus, don't miss our infinity rings, our crisis fries, and our refreshing Lazarus Pit lemonade, guaranteed to revive those taste buds.
Super Sub, heroic flavors, legendary bites now open in your city. Swing by today and get a free Baxter Building brew with your first order.
That's right, but hurry, because these multiverse-worthy flavors won't last forever. Super Subs, heroic flavors, and legendary bites.
112 FM, Bandito Radio.
We're at that time.
Yeah, I was at that Super Sub last week because the CEO Dave James wanted to have a conversation with me about that horrific kind of scenario about that. He was like, he even laughed about it. He laughed off. He's a very cool dude. You know what? We're gonna have him on next week. Actually, he's got his own ad next week, so it's gonna be cool to have him in studio, man.
Yeah, he's a cool cat, man. He's cool dude.
Cool. Very forgiving.
Yeah, it's really, really good. Hey, well, we wouldn't be us if we didn't provide you with all of your entertainment needs over the next short period of time. We're still working to figure it out. Obviously, you can find out more about events that are coming up if you're part of the Discord. And if you're members only, you get to watch this podcast on video. So this is where we kind of fill you in on the events that are coming up very shortly, actually.
Absolutely. And myself and Mr. Maddoxx will be in Duluth, Georgia for Toy Atlanta on March 28th through the 30th of 2025. If you're listening to me on this, it was 2026 now. Then you're probably looking for next year's Toy Atlanta. But if it's this year, we're going to be live streaming from the Odd Frog / Bandito Radio 112 FM booth. Live from the convention. We're going to rope in some of our buddies over the Sorlike Digest podcast and Blitz Transmission, and we'll even see if the guys over at the Skeleton Tomb can pop on. Deadman Juan, the Scully. We're going to try to rope in a bunch of guys to give you entertainment directly from the floor. We're going to grab some fans off the floor, and we're going to ask them questions like, what are you buying at Toy Atlanta? And then we may ask some infill ones, what do you guys think? Because we all know that Mystic Legion Dragon is going to be at that event. And we'll be polling people and actually asking them and polling, are they purchasing that item as well? So we got some cool things coming from that. But once we're done with that, that's not our only event of the year. There's several planned, but right now on the calendar, it's the SoCal Joe Show from Temecula, California on May the 4th. That might be Star Wars Day to some others, but this year, the first half is going to be G.I. Joe, and it's going to be in Temecula, California. And SKN, the Chateau Nose Network, will have their own booth there, along with all the members of the SKN crew will be live streaming from that table. And even our own Richard from the Tribunal SKN, also sometimes Toy Box Chronicles. He will be there with his kscollectibles.com booth as a vendor. So make sure you come down and see the crew, and hey, say hi to us when you're at these events.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
I think
You know
I
what?
think it. I think. I mean, I'm excited because for those that don't know, like Action Figure Frequencies is becoming the go-to live streaming podcast for toy events. We have a lot more deals on the table that we're talking through and planning out, and we're excited about them. And it's starting off with Toylanta and SoCal Joe Show, and so it's like we're bringing live coverage to these shows, which is something that has not happened before. But we're happy to be the forerunner for this. I'm excited. But the one thing that everyone is probably wondering is like when you're spending all your money on, you know, whether you got the only USS flag available for sale, or maybe you grabbed all the HasLabs. Someone magically is selling a Unicron, right? Or you
Absolutely.
got that collector exclusive. Okay.
Yeah,
You gotta ask yourself, how are you protecting these?
Yeah, absolutely right, Chet. So if you are a collector who's been duped by a mislabeled mixed condition figure, did your exclusive pre-order mysteriously vanish into the void, or maybe your prized vintage toy arrived in a box that looked like it went 10 rounds with a garbage truck? Then you need Timmy Mint, toy advocate attorney. For over 20 years, Timmy Mint has fought for justice in the world of toy collecting, from misprints to mispacks, crushed corners to counterfeit chaos. He's taken on the biggest toy companies, and you know what? He's won. At the law offices of Mint and Mint, he believes in every creator deserves fair play. And Timmy Mint ensures your case comes Mint graded. Call 1-800-555-MINT today for your free consultation. Because when it comes to toy justice, if it ain't mint, well, you know what? It ain't right.
112 FM, Bandito Radio.
Well, it's that time, my lovely friends over on Bandito Radio 112 FM. We appreciate you hanging out. We went through a lot today. We talked about Hasbro Pulse and memberships. Are they worth it? We went over some of the toy news that happened and high price collectibles. The action figure prices are going up. You learned about one of our new sponsors that supports mental health, the Toy FOMO Addict, There's a lot. That treatment center is really doing something for toy collectors that have a problem. I'm excited about next week. Like we said, we're gonna have Dave James on, the CEO of Super Subs, who's been fantastic. And we've said if you're in SoCal, you can go visit them. And we have our codes there. What does everyone have to look forward to on the next episode, my friend?
You know what? Other than again, having Dave James on, which is a big deal because he's a busy man, because he's opening up Super Subs all over the country. We're just going to be exploring more things into the world of toys and answering hopefully some of your questions. And if you do have any questions that you'd like to ask for the group, there's two ways to get us. You can go over to our Instagram page at the Shadow Knows Network, and that's the Shadow with an E at the end, Knows Network. On Instagram, drop us a DM, or you can head over to the Shadow Knows Network YouTube channel, and you can do one of two things. You can either drop us a line in a comment over there, or you can actually subscribe to the channel membership. And that way you can actually become a member of our Discord and shoot those questions directly over to us, with even a chance at one point, even through the Discord, to actually be a call-in caller for the actual action figure frequency. That's right. From our Discord, you can call in and we can answer questions for you, and you get your time in the spotlight here on Action Figure Frequencies, my friend.
I'm excited.
I am too, man. And hey, there's some exclusive things over on the ShadowKnowsNetwork.com. There is a special 2025 Toy Atlanta exclusive Toy Box Chronicles t-shirt. that is going on. And if you want to take a look at that, go over to the Instagram page. It's actually up there, or head over to the Shadow Knows Network, and that's Shadow with an E at the end, knowsnetwork.com, and you can actually see the 2025 Toy Atlanta exclusive Toy Box Chronicles SKN t-shirt, and it's limited stock. And from what you're telling me, it's only going to be limited to 300 actual items, right, Chet?
That is correct. 300 only, my friend.
Oh, so wait a minute. Hold on. Now you're listening to it for toys. You can actually join the Discord, and you can actually, in all possible ways, get yourself some nice apparels. What else is left other than wrapping this up in the best kind of way we can, Chet?
Don't worry about it, my friend. We are. But until next time, we want to remind you that you should be listening to 112 FM when you are chasing those plastic dragons.
Thank you for listening to Action Figure Frequencies with Chet Maddoxx and Alexander Storm.
Here at 1.12 FM, we are cranking out the freshest modern beats, the hottest indie tracks, and music that speaks to your soul. But that ain't all. We're about the culture, baby. Dive into deep conversations about toys, collectibles, and the stories behind them. Served up in podcasts that hit harder than a power cord. And if you are a fan of classic storytelling, we've got modern spins on old-time radio plays that'll keep you on the edge of your seat. So tune in, turn it up, and let 1.12 FM Bandito Radio be your soundtrack for a world where music, toys, and imagination collide.
Through the smoke and fire, I march alone. A steel heart beats beneath the stone. With every step, I hear the cries, but an iron soldier never dies. The ground shakes under boots of war. Brothers fall and blood's the score. I carry the voices, I bear the pain. An endless fight in the cold hard rain. Iron soldiers stand your ground. Through the fire, hear the sound. A heart of steel, a will unbroken. In a fight, no words are spoken. Iron soldier, rise again. For the fallen, until the end. Bullets sing like a deadly choir. Every breath fuels the fire. The scars on my skin, but the soul stays true. I bleed for the red, the black, the gold. I see the faces of those I defend. That freedom's worth the fight till the end. Through the darkness I see the light. I am the shadow that blocks my eyes. I am soldier, stand your ground. Through the fire, hear the sound. A heart of steel, a will unbroken. In a fight, no words are spoken. Iron soldier, rise again. For the fallen, until the end. The weight of the world on weary hands, but I'll hold the line and make my stand. The echoes of war won't break my stride. For honor and duty, I'll never hide. Iron soldier, stand your ground. Through the fire, hear the sound. A heart of steel, a will unbroken. In a fight, no words are spoken. Iron soldier, rise again. For the fallen, until the end. When the dust has settled and silence remains, I'll carry their names through the pain. An iron soldier, forged in fire, driven by hope, by love, my
was Iron Spires. Stay tuned, baby. We still got Mira's Morgue of Midnight Madness coming up. You're listening to 112 FM Bandito Radio. That was another mind-blowing tune from Chris Turner. You are tuned in to 1.12 FM Bandito Radio.
Tune into the static, whispers in the night. Mira's Morgue awakens, where shadows take flight.
Welcome back, my haunted airway explorers. You've returned once more to Mira's Morgue of Midnight Madness, where the golden age of radio horror lingers like a ghostly whisper, and the most terrifying tales refuse to stay buried. And tonight, we continue our descent into the twisted mind of Dr. Henry Jekyll and his less than charming alter ego, Mr. Hyde, And oh, my dear listeners, when we last left off, London had become a playground of terror, Hyde's personal haunting ground where cruelty and chaos reigned. And now, my dear friends, let's witness the final hour of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now present George Edwards in Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Hetty committed suicide? Where? At the place where she was living. She'd been told to come along to police headquarters to answer some questions. Went upstairs to put on her hat. She didn't come down. When we went up, she'd done herself in. A razor done the trick.
Good Lord.
Dr. Jekyll.
Why, what's the matter? He's fainted. Get me some brandy, Paul. There's some on the table over there.
Did he happen to know the young woman?
I don't know. I don't think so. This whole business has upset him pretty badly. He was to have been married to Mr. Utterson's daughter in a couple of weeks' time.
Yes, I suppose she won't feel much like getting married now. I tell you, sir, in all my experience, I've never seen a nastier job than that one. Hardly a bone left whole in his body.
Yes, I know.
Respectable old gentleman, too. Wonder what he was doing in a place like that.
He's gone down there to try and buy the house on behalf of a client, I understand.
You don't say. That man Hyde must be a devil and no mistake. What did he want to kick him to death for if that was all he had against him?
Feeling better, old man? Take a little more of this and lie still.
You gave us quite a turn, sir, going off like that.
I really... I'm ashamed of myself. I can't think what came over me. You need a holiday. That's what's the matter with you. You've been stuck away in this place day and night. Blessed if I can think what keeps you here.
Queer-looking place, if you'll excuse me for saying so, sir. What's all in big glass jars and long, twisted bits of piping?
There are tops for chemical experiments. Dr. Jekyll's a well-known scientist.
Oh, I see.
Feeling better, sir?
Yes, thanks, Poole. I'll be all right now.
Better let me get you something to eat, sir. You've hardly touched a bit since yesterday.
Well, that's a good idea. We'll all go back to the house and shut this place up. It's enough to get on one's nerves without anything else.
You all go ahead. I've something I want to do. I won't be long.
Well, can't I do it for you?
No, oh no. Please go, all of you. I'm really better now. I can manage for myself. Get them something to eat, Poole. Something hot and strong. I feel I need it rather badly.
Yes, sir. I'll go right away, sir.
That's a healthier sound, old man. I can see I'll have to take you in hand. Come along, officer.
Yes, sir.
We'll go across. Dr. Jekyll won't be long.
Hetty, David Markham, my mother, and my father, Utterson, and now, Hetty. Oh, God. God, forgive me. This is the trail of Hyde. Misery and ruin, sorrow and disgrace, and murder. I have done this. I alone. Oh, let me wipe him from my existence. Let me make certain that never, never can this hideous monstrosity that walks in the guise of man pursue his frightful course again. To destroy the secret tincture that is necessary to transform me into... There. It spills across the floor like blood. Like human blood. Oh, that I could get that vision of the old man's blood out of my mind. And now, I'll go and lock that outer door. I'll lock it, grind the key under my heel, so that never again can I pass through. That was the door to my infamies. Let it be closed forever. And then perhaps in time, I'll cease to be afraid. I'll learn to live as other men, not in this hell of fear that he'll return. Oh, God. Oh, God. Have pity on me, God. What am I going to do to redeem myself in your eyes and in the eyes of men?
Paul, is he any better today?
Yes, Miss Margaret, much better. He's sitting in the sun out in the garden. Would you care to go out this way?
Yes, I will. I bought these flowers for him. They looked so pretty in the shop window. I thought they might make him feel better.
I think the sight of you, miss, will do more than any flowers.
That's nice of you, Paul. But I'm afraid I'm not very cheerful company these days.
We were talking about you in the servants' hall only this morning. If you'll excuse us for taking the liberty, miss. And we were saying that it was nothing short of wonderful the way you've borne up through it all.
I've had kind friends to help me, Paul.
As if the one thing wasn't enough without poor Mr. Henry getting took so bad. Dr. Lanyon was saying that if it hadn't been for you and the way you stayed with him and looked after him, he doesn't think he'd ever have come round the way he has.
How did he seem this morning?
Oh, a good deal brighter. Ask me what was in the papers, if you please.
Really? Well, that is a good sign. It's the first sign of interest he's shown for weeks.
I think you'll find him a good deal brighter in lots of ways when you see him.
Then I'll go out right away. Thank you, Paul. I appreciate all you've done for me.
It's been a pleasure, miss. A real pleasure.
Henry, are you asleep, dear?
Oh, is that you, Margaret? I think I must have been in some sort of a daydream. I didn't hear you coming.
I came over the lawn. No, don't get up. Let me sit here beside you.
Oh, it's time I gave up these invalid ways. I'm really quite strong again. See? I don't need a stick anymore.
Oh, that's fine. Will we go for a little walk? It's just lovely in the sun today.
Give me your arm. I'll see just how far I can go. I'll bet I can manage to the end of the square.
Oh, don't be too ambitious. I don't want to have you going back to bed again.
Oh, I promise you I won't do that. The weakness is passing now. I'm starting to think clearly again. I could even remember some formulas quite easily last night.
Oh, please don't overdo it, dear. You've got to get really strong before you even think of work again.
How are things going down at the clinic? Have you been down there recently?
Yes, yesterday afternoon. Nurse Peters and Hugh are doing a wonderful job.
Oh, no. Don't tell me they don't miss me at all. That would be too much to put up with.
Never fear about that. I was besieged with people asking how you were. It'll be a great day down there when you're well enough to come back to them.
Do you really mean that, Margaret?
Of course I do. Why do you ask?
I just want you to repeat it. It comforts me somehow to feel that I've done some good in the world.
You? Why, whatever are you talking about? There's no other person I know who'd given so much of himself to others. Your whole breakdown was due to overwork.
And now, I'm beginning to long to get back to it.
Oh, but you mustn't. You've got to rest for a long time yet. Henry, why can't we get married quietly and go away together so that I can look after you?
Please.
Oh,
dear.
yes, I know we've been through all this before, but you don't convince me. The fact that you've had a bad breakdown doesn't mean that things have changed between us.
I've got to be certain that was the reason for it. These things may have deeper causes than we know.
What do you mean?
I can only put it in one way. If someone came to me and said a man had had the kind of nervous collapse that I had had, and that he was going to get married immediately after it, I would say that he had no right to do so.
Henry, you're not serious.
Oh, Margaret, darling, surely you must realize that these things don't happen by accident.
Oh, what are you hinting at? Don't let's talk of things like that. You wouldn't if you were really well.
All right. All right. Let's enjoy the sunshine and each other's company.
You've spoiled everything. Why did you want to say those things?
I'm sorry, sweet. I'm sorry. But they're in my mind. In my mind always.
It can't be that you're afraid there may be some sort of, well, mental derangement.
I can't say yet. It's too early to tell.
Oh, no. No, not you, Henry. Not you of all people. I won't have it. It isn't possible.
Hush, darling, please don't. Oh, what a fool I am. Now, come. Now, we'll say no more about it now. Perhaps you're right. And these things are only the stupid fancies of a sick man.
Look here, old man. What's this balderdash you've been talking to Margaret? Poor girl came to me in a terrible state this afternoon.
What did she say, Hugh?
That you've got some fantastic idea that this illness of yours might have some other cause than overwork.
And mightn't it?
Oh, might. But it would take a lot to convince me there was anything wrong with you.
Why?
Do I have to answer that? You know yourself better than I do.
And that's the answer, Huey, old friend. I know myself better than you do. Than anybody else in existence does. And that's why I feel I have no right to marry Margaret Utterson.
What? You're not serious.
Never more so in my life.
You'll break her heart.
I can't tell you any more than what I say now. But I tell you, Hugh, that I have forfeited all right to marry Margaret. Or any other woman I shall ever meet. Now, don't ask me why. It's the truth. And it is the knowledge of that has made me what I am. A man old before his time. Broken in health. And my hair turned white before I'm 30 years of age.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now present George Edwards in Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Henry, have you told Margaret this?
I said something about it this afternoon.
No wonder the poor girl was upset. You shouldn't have done it, you know. It isn't fair to her.
Was ever a man in such a predicament as I am? What am I to do? She wants me to marry her right away so that we can go away together and she can nurse me back to health.
Sounds a jolly good idea to me.
Oh, how can you as a medical man say that? Heaven only knows what this illness of mine might mean.
You're not getting the idea that you maybe not sound mentally.
Precisely what I do mean.
Oh, rot.
Anyway, I'm not taking the risk. I'll have to be very certain before I go any further.
All right, old chap. If you feel that way about it, there's nothing I can do. But I think you're causing unnecessary unhappiness to a woman who's already had more than she can stand.
Don't think that I'm not aware of it. I know what she's done for me in the last few weeks.
You were unconscious a lot of the time. You couldn't have known the way she watched over you.
All the same, I think I did know. I was wandering through the darkest pits of Hades. It was the feel of her little hand in mine that brought me back again.
Don't let go. You're not so firmly on the road to health yet, you know.
You've no need to tell me that. The slightest exertion or strain simply wears me out.
Oh, by the way, they're asking me when I thought you'd be fit to answer some questions.
They? Who do you mean?
The police.
Police? What do they want?
They have never found the slightest trace of Hyde since the night he disappeared from the house in Soho. I've held them off as long as I can, but they're just frantic to interview you.
But what have I to do with it?
You knew him. They think you might be able to tell them something about his habits, where he went, what he did.
But I've never seen him either. Surely you told them that.
Of course I did. But they want you to tell them all you knew of him before he disappeared. Oh, don't look so upset, old fellow. I've told them that you're not to be bothered too much.
I'm not upset. I'll tell them all they want to know. But I don't think it'll help them much.
Well, they've got so little to go on, they're bound to seize on every scrap of information they can get. He seems to have been a complete mystery man. Lots of people have seen him, but hardly anyone knew anything about him. Poor little Hetty was the only one who was ever inside that house besides myself and Utterson.
They'll never find him, no matter where they look.
What makes you so sure?
I've had a letter from him.
A letter? Written since the murder?
Yes. I said nothing about it because I wasn't sure if I should show it to the police or not.
What does it say?
Oh, a lot of unnecessary things about past generosities I'd shown him. And that I had no fear to worry about his safety because he had a means of escape which he knew was infallible.
It hadn't any postmark, I suppose?
None at all. It was delivered by hand. I've got it here in this desk if you'd like to have a look at it.
You bet I would.
Here you are. Tell me if you think I ought to hand it over.
What curious handwriting.
Yes, he's left-handed.
When did this come? Not when you were ill, surely.
No, about 2 days ago.
Then he's still in London. The fellow must be mad. He's such a horrible-looking creature. He's bound to be recognized at once.
Well, I guess he knows what he's up to. If he says he has a safe hiding place, isn't that enough?
Oh, sure. Well, let's forget the gentleman. Even the mention of his name seems to upset you.
But what shall I do with the letter?
If you like, I'll take it along to police headquarters. I think you'd be foolish to keep it from them.
All right. Do as you think best. And tell them they can come along and see me when they like. I'll give what help I can.
Good. I'll call in there on my way home. Oh, don't get up. Paul let me out.
Hugh, I'd like you to be here when they come.
You mean the police? Of course I will. I'm your medical advisor, and you can rely on me to see they don't take too much out of you. Now, don't let it worry you. You needn't say a word more than you want.
All right, I'll claim privilege as soon as the questions get too hot to be comfortable.
By the way, we owe a lot to little Hetty, you know.
Do you think I don't know that? We both of us have been out of the BMA by now if she had told what she knew.
I went out to her grave on Sunday. It was covered with flowers.
Was it?
If you sent them, Henry, make quite certain there's nothing to show who they came from. You can't afford to be connected with her in any way.
I'll make sure. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Well, Poole, your master's getting on splendidly, isn't he? Indeed he is, Dr. Lanyon, sir. Getting his appetite back and more his usual self. Oh, by the way, there was a letter handed in for him during the last 2 days. What was the messenger like? A letter, sir? Yes. I have it here. No letter like that was handed in that I know of, Dr. Lanyon. Are you sure? Quite sure, sir. Nothing has come except by post and only circulars at that. Could anybody else have taken it in? No, sir. Maud, the parlor maid, is away sick, and I've been answering the door myself. Oh, well, must be some mistake. Goodbye, Poole. Goodbye, Dr. Lanyon, sir. Why, hello, you, my boy. Very nice of you to come along and visit an old man. Sit down and help me sample this bottle of wine. It looks a fine and venerable one, sir. Oh, it is indeed. I was going through the cellar a while ago and found 3 of these bottles tucked away in a corner where they'd been forgotten. Look at the date, 1817. Older than I am. By Jove, I'm in luck's way. Fancy dropping in at a time like this. You never can be sure how the cork is held, though. Wait till I draw it. Oh, sound as a bell. They did things properly in those days, eh? None of your cheap, careless work then. Pass me those glasses. There you are now. Taste the kind of wine your grandfather's vintage. Marvelous view, Mark, the bouquet. There's the hot glow of autumn afternoons and the perfume of the south in that. A royal wine. Now, you sit down by the fire and tell me what brought you here. Well, Mr. Winter, I want your advice and help about something. Oh, I'd be glad to help you in any way I can. You know that. Yes, I do. And I also had to have someone whose discretion I could rely on absolutely. It's a very peculiar matter. Go ahead, then. Well, it's about this letter. Edward Hyde. A letter from Edward Hyde? Where did you get this? I got it from Henry Jekyll this afternoon. Yes, I see it's addressed to him, but it's dated the 25th, and that's the day before yesterday. Where did it come from? Henry says it has no postmark. As a matter of fact, it was delivered by hand. Then the man's in London. Yes, he must be. Have the police seen this? Not yet. I intend to take it to them tomorrow. Oh, you must. This is tremendously important. He's disappeared so completely that they've been afraid he's got away out of the country. But you can see he seems perfectly confident of being able to evade them. Oh, we'll see about that. He's got to show his face sometime or another, and such a hideous creature as he is will be recognized at once. You saw him, didn't you? Indeed I did. When I was with my poor old friend Utterson, we saw him trample a little child underfoot and beat it with his stick. Little did we dream that he was to do the same to Utterson, only this time with no one to stop him. You're an authority on handwriting, Mr. Winter, aren't you? Oh, yes, it's been a hobby of mine. What do you think of Hyde's? Curious hand. Angular, untidy. Have you ever seen another like it? Not that I can think of offhand. Compare it with this. Let me see now. Yes. Yes, that's very strange. Where did you get the second note? I've had it in my possession some time. Do you know who the writer is? I know him very well. Then you must tell the police his name at once. Why? Because the man who wrote this torn scrap you've just given me and the one who signs himself Edward Hyde are one and the same person. Yes. I rather expected you to say that. But why are you so calm? Don't you recognize the importance of this? The first letter is written in an obviously disguised hand. If it really is by Edward Hyde... Then I've only got to take the police to the man who wrote the second note, and we've got our murderer. We've got someone who's been willing to forge for him? Yes. You're right. The thought of that's been weighing like a load on me ever since I saw the resemblance. But why should you shield him? Anyone who would try to help a beast like Hyde deserves the worst that can be thought of him. You don't know what you're saying. But why? Who is he? Who wrote this second note? Henry Jekyll. What? Henry Jekyll? Yes. Now you know why I feel as I do. But Henry Jekyll forged for a murderer? Oh, it's all a part of his illness. He had the most frightful delusions when he was unconscious. Times he used to think that he was committing the murder himself. Mercy on us. Yes. He was saying to me today that he felt he had no right to marry Margaret because he had some doubts as to his mental stability. And to tell the truth, I'm beginning to wonder myself. Poor chap. Oh, this is terrible. So I don't think we'll say anything about the matter. I think you're right. Come. I'll throw it in the fire, and then we'll have another glass of wine. I've got a kind of chill in my blood. Poor Henry. Poor Margaret.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now present George Edwards in Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Now, would you tell us, Dr. Jekyll, everything you know about this man Hyde?
I don't know very much, Inspector.
But you've known him for a number of years.
Yes, that's true.
When did you meet him first?
Well, you see, it's difficult to remember offhand, but, well, I'd say I made my first acquaintance with him about, 5 years ago.
How did you meet him?
Well, he read about some of my experiments in a medical journal. He came here and made himself known to me.
Why was that? Was he a medical man?
Oh, no, far from it. But he was very interested. He had a lot of knowledge for a layman.
And you were so impressed with him that you let him help you at times?
Yes, that's right.
What was he interested in particularly?
Well, for a very long time, I've been searching for a drug that would have a certain effect on the will. He used to let me experiment on him.
Oh, how do you mean?
Well, he used to take doses of the mixtures I'd compound and allow me to watch the results.
Oh, rather dangerous, wasn't it?
Very dangerous. I warned him that he did it absolutely at his own risk. I've got papers in my laboratory in which he made a full statement that he knew what he was doing and that I was in no way to be held responsible for anything that might happen.
Well, he must have had plenty of nerve.
Well, he certainly had that.
And what was the result of these experiments? Did any of them come off?
None. We met with total failure. At the time of his disappearance, we were starting on a new line, but hadn't really gone far enough to find anything fresh.
How often did you see him?
Oh, that's hard to say. Sometimes he'd be here pretty constantly, and sometimes he'd disappear for weeks.
And you say you have no idea where he went?
None at all. He hated to be questioned, and so I didn't ask. Of course, my interest in him was purely scientific.
And what about this girl, this Hetty Wilson? Did he ever speak to you about her?
Never. I didn't even know of her existence until a few weeks before she died.
And how did you hear about her then?
When my father died, I was away on the continent. I hadn't left any address, and Dr. Lanyon went down to Hyde's house to see if he knew where I could be found. He met Hetty Wilson then and told me about her later on.
I see. And how did it happen that Dr. Lanyon knew Hyde's address?
Well, we were old friends. He knows all I do. I told him about Hyde and the work we were doing together.
Well, that seems reasonable enough.
Look here, Inspector. What are you driving at? Why shouldn't I know where Hyde lived?
Oh, no reason at all, Dr. Lanyon. But so very few people did. I was naturally curious.
I see. Well, are there any other questions, Inspector?
Did he never tell you anything about his private life? Where he got his money from, or where he went to when you didn't see him?
Well, I've told you, my interest was scientific. I didn't like him. I didn't want to know how he lived or what he did. He was useful to me and gave me a lot of help.
But he had the run of your house, used to be here at all sorts of times. Once he slept in your bed.
What's that? Who told you that?
One of your servants. A maid who was dismissed for trying to see into your laboratory.
That girl?
Yes. She told me that she'd gone into your room with your early morning tea and was horrified to see Hyde lying in your bed.
And what if he was? The man risked his life again and again for the sake of my experiments. We often worked late into the night.
Yes, that's quite understandable. All I'm trying to get at, sir, is this. That you were on pretty close terms with him.
But I repeat that I know nothing about his private life. Nothing at all.
Well, if that's the case, I'm afraid I'm not much further on than before. I'm sorry to have troubled you, Doctor.
Oh, that's quite all right. I'm sorry to have been so little help.
Yes, it's a bit of a blow to me. I'd counted rather a lot on what you could tell me. You're the only one who seems to have ever had anything to do with him, except that girl, Hetty. I'd give a lot to know just why she killed herself. Shielding someone, I'll be bound.
And, you've no idea who it might be?
Not a notion. If I had, I might be able to track down Hyde. Well, I'll not stop till I do. The man's a maniac. He's bound to break out again unless he's caught. His kind don't stop at one murder. Why, Henry, Dr. Jekyll, what's the matter?
It's all right. Just leave me alone with him. He's not well, you know. He'll be all right in a little while.
Oh, I'm awfully sorry. Indeed I am.
And he'll be all right. Just leave me.
Yes, of course. I'll get in touch with you later on. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Now, take this, old man.
I'm all right.
Now, don't try to get up. Just take things easily. What was it? One of the dizzy turns?
Just a kind of blackness that comes over me at times.
Well, keep still and don't worry. Our friend has gone, and I don't think he'll be troubling you again. You were a great disappointment to him.
Yes, I hoped I was.
Dr. Jekyll.
Well, nurse, I thought I'd call in and give you a surprise.
Oh, you certainly have. Does Dr. Lanyon know you're here?
Not that I know of. Is he here?
Yes, he's with the outpatients now.
Then bring me a gown. I'll put it on and give him a hand. We might as well give him a shock, too.
Why, Dr. Jekyll?
Oh, what's the matter? Oh, yes. My hair. How do you like it?
It's as white as snow. Oh, you must have been ill.
Oh, well, it's all over now. I'm going to start work again, and we'll soon forget all about it.
Yes, I'm awfully glad to see you back again.
Why didn't you come and see me while I was ill?
You had plenty of others to look after you.
Didn't you think I might have wanted to see you and hear about your clinic?
Hear about the clinic, maybe, but I don't flatter myself you wanted to see me.
Why not?
Oh, I did call once or twice, but they always told me that Miss Utterson was with you.
I see. Surely that old jealousy doesn't exist anymore.
What makes you think that? Does it alter how I feel for you, just because I know I haven't got a hope?
Help me on with my gown, will you? Well, been kept pretty busy?
Oh, not more than usual. I think some of the patients have dropped off since you've been away.
Well, perhaps I'd better keep away altogether, and they might all get well.
Oh, when you've seen the number in the outpatients room, you won't think that.
Well, come along then. Let's get going. Hello, little girl. What's the matter with you?
One of her legs is shorter than the other, Doctor. We've heard wonderful things about you, and we wondered if you could do anything for it.
Let me have a look at it. Now, don't be frightened. I won't hurt. I just want to take your boots and stockings off so that I can have a good look. Now, tell me, what's your name?
Tessie, sir.
Tessie. That's a pretty name. How old are you?
I'm 9, sir.
9? Do you go to school?
Yes, sir. I'm in 4th class.
Well, 4th class. Fancy that. That's pretty good for 9 years old. Now, come along. Can you stand up over there and let me see how you walk?
Do as the doctor tells you, Tess.
Yes, Mother.
Did she have some sort of accident? That looks like the result of an injury to me.
Oh, yes, she did about 2 years ago.
Oh, I see. Why, what happened?
Oh, it was a terrible thing, Doctor. The poor little thing was running along the street one time late at night. She'd been for a doctor, and you'll hardly believe this, sir, but a fella took to her with a stick. Beat her something terrible he did. And if it hadn't been for 2 other gentlemen who was near, I think he would have killed her.
What happened? Did you hand him over to the police?
No. He paid us £100 to say nothing. But I can see now that we did wrong. We didn't think he'd done her so much harm. But look at her. She's maimed for life.
Mommy.
There, dear. Now, never you mind. The kind doctor will make you better again. Oh, I didn't ought to have told you this in front of her, sir. She gets that upset to hear it. She's never been the same child since. The fright half killed her.
Have you any idea who the man was?
No, not for certain. I never seen him myself. But they do say, sir, that it's him that done that murder a little while ago. That fella, Edward Hyde. Oh, sir, can you help her?
Yes. Yes, I'll help her. I'll make her well again. If it's the last thing that I ever do.
and gentlemen, we now present George Edwards in Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
I'm afraid Dr. Jekyll is rather busy just at present. Who shall I tell him is called?
Well, my name is John Fairley. I've called several times at his house and haven't been able to find him. That's why I came down here to the clinic.
Well, if you'd care to come into my room and wait a while, I'll tell him you're here.
If he'd just let me know when I could see him.
Well, I believe I can hear him coming now.
Nurse Peters, are you there?
Yes, Doctor.
I say, will you... Why, hello, John. Why, what are you doing here?
I was wondering if I could see you sometime. Sorry to bother you down here, but there seemed no other way of finding you.
Oh, that's all right. Anything important?
Yes, it is rather.
Well, I've about 10 minutes now. If that's any good to you, I'm not due at the hospital till 2 o'clock.
Can we talk here?
Oh, I think so. You don't mind if we borrow your little room for a while, do you, nurse?
No, not at all. I'll close the door and see you're not disturbed.
Thanks, that will do fine. Well, now, John, what is it?
Well, to be quite frank, it's about Margaret.
I had an idea it was.
What are you going to do about it, Jekyll? I know this might be called infernal cheek on my part, but it's far from being that.
I know.
Everyone understood that the marriage couldn't go on after that terrible business of Mr. Utterson and then your long illness. But that's all past now, and you don't even seem to want to talk about it.
Margaret has told you this, I take it?
I've had to wring it out of her. Don't think that she's been complaining, but I knew she was unhappy, and I made her tell me.
I'm not blaming her, John. I'm glad she's got someone she can take her troubles to.
You are. Great heavens, Jekyll, what's the matter with you? Are you playing fast and loose with Margaret? You've been engaged to her for years now. Do you intend to marry her or not?
Sit down, old man. Let us talk this over quietly. I know how you feel about Margaret, and I'm not going to feel resentful, no matter what you say, but it's very important that you shouldn't feel bad about me.
I can't understand you, and that's the plain truth. Margaret's the most lovely girl in the world. I'd give my very life to be in your place, and you don't seem to want her.
What makes you think that, John?
There's not the slightest reason in the world now why you shouldn't marry her. But every time she talks about it, you evade her and talk about something else. Don't you love her anymore?
Might it not be that I love her too much to marry her?
What do you mean?
Things sometimes happen in men's lives that debar them forever from the right to marry, if they have a spark of decency in their makeup.
What? You...
Oh, it's not any petty little aftermath of a bygone sin. This is something that I simply couldn't begin to tell you about. It's beyond the scope of any ordinary experience.
And then if that's the case, what are you going to do? Will this thing pass in time?
I don't know.
And you're going to keep Margaret in this state of uncertainty till you do find out?
No, I'm not going to do that, John.
Don't you understand that you're ruining all her chances of finding happiness somewhere else by holding her to her promise to you?
Yes, I understand. I deserve all your reproaches, John. You did quite right to come and talk to me about it. I'll set her free.
Don't do it if it's not absolutely necessary. I love her enough to be able to realize that no one will ever be the same to her as you. Any other man will merely be a sort of substitute for you.
I hope not, John. With all my heart, I hope that she'll come to care for you as I know you deserve.
If patience and understanding on my part can do it, she will.
Then I promise you I'll not stand in your way any longer. She's very precious to me, John. There's no one I know of that I'd sooner trust her to than you.
You know, when I came here, I felt I wanted to knock you down. Now I feel I want to take your hand and thank you. Though I don't know why.
Then we're going to be friends, are we?
As far as I'm concerned, we are.
Then take my hand, but forget about the thanks. If you can make her happy, I'll be more deeply in your debt than you can ever imagine. And now I think I'll go. I've got a big operation to perform. I'd like a little time to get a grip on myself again. This conversation hasn't been easy, you know.
Yes, I know. I'm sorry.
Well, goodbye. And good luck.
Goodbye.
When are you going to take me down to your clinic again?
Don't you think you've had enough of sick people for a while? You nursed me for several weeks, you know.
And see what a good job I made of it. You're almost as well as you ever were.
You're a born nurse, Margaret, and no mistake. As a rich man's wife, your greatest talent will be lost.
Why should it be? I'll also be the wife of a doctor, don't forget. Henry, what's the matter? Why do you turn away like that?
Give me your hand, darling. Let's lean over the edge of this bridge and watch the water trickle over the rocks.
You're evading me. You always do whenever I speak of our marriage. Henry, you've got to be honest with me. I can't stand this much longer.
Dearest, I brought you out into the country today so that we could have a good long talk. It's so perfect out here. I hoped the beauty around us would help.
Help? Why are we in need of help?
I've got to hurt you very much, I'm afraid.
No.
Oh, don't draw away from me. Give me your hand again, please.
Oh, what's the matter with you? Why are you so strange? You've never been the same since your illness.
You haven't thought that I've loved you any less, have you?
No, not that. Something else. Some underlying strangeness that I haven't been able to get at. What is it, Henry? Can't you tell me?
I brought you here to try. I want you to know, dear, that I've never loved you so much in all my life as I do now. And I say what I'm going to say because of that.
You don't have to tell me. I know.
What do you know, my sweet?
You're going to say you aren't going to marry me at all. Oh, why don't you answer me? Why don't you tell me I'm wrong? It can't be true.
I have no choice.
What do you mean?
There are certain things that put a man beyond the pale of decent society. They're nameless things, crimes and horrors of the night. I have committed them.
No, it's not true. Not you.
Hold fast to me while I tell you, sweet. Your father told you certain things about me. Put them forward as reasons why you shouldn't marry me.
I never believed them. Never.
But you should have. He was right. Only he didn't know the full, hideous truth.
Oh, what is this you're saying? Henry, it's because you're still not better of your illness. You used to have the most terrible delusions then, imagining you were committing the most frightful crimes. This is only part of it.
I wish to God it were. Oh, no, my darling. I'm sane and in my right mind. And I know that everything I say to you is less than the truth.
But when? How? Where did you do these things?
Oh, don't ask me for details. I can't tell you. You must never know the full extent of my degradation.
But I can't just be put off with hints. I'm a grown woman now. This is too dreadful a thing to be accepted without facts.
Do you remember what the old gypsy woman, Mother Haggerty, once told us long ago?
I remember something.
There's broken lives and broken hearts and a load of sorrow that will rest upon your soul to weigh it to the ground.
Stop it. Stop. She was an old crazy creature. What could she know?
What indeed? And yet she saw into a future that has come to pass, down to the very last degree.
It hasn't. I remember something else. She said there was the gallows sign in your hand. That hasn't come true.
Supposing I were to tell you that even that is true.
Then I'd know that you're mad.
Listen. There's a man named Edward Hyde.
Don't speak of him.
But I must, because Hyde is the reason that I've got to say these things to you. If it were not for him, well, what's the good of that?
But what has Hyde got to do with you and me?
Everything. Hyde and I. Everything that man did. Every hideous atrocity. Every crime he committed was shared in and connived at by me.
You're not serious. You can't expect me to believe that.
It's the truth.
But But it isn't possible. Hyde is one person, you another. How could you be responsible for what he did?
I could have wiped him out of existence, instead of which I set him free to do what he liked.
How could you have done so? Was he so much under your influence?
He was my creation. I had conjured him up out of the pit of hell, where he belonged.
Oh, now I know you're not well. This is madness.
It must seem like that. Very well, then. Let it go at that. But you wouldn't wish to marry a madman, would you, Margaret?
Oh, I don't know what I wish. I don't want to marry anyone.
Oh, you mustn't say that, dear. You mustn't say that. There's John, isn't there?
You'd have me marry him?
I think he could make you happy.
Oh, how could you? Have you thought it all out?
I've been thinking what's the best thing for you for a long time, dearest. Oh, Margaret, look at me. Look at my eyes and tell me. Do you see anything in them but love for you and pain at losing you?
Oh, but why? Why? If I love you and you love me, what does it matter?
I've committed almost every crime in the calendar, Margaret, my darling. But to take advantage of your love and innocence and loyalty is something that even I have not fallen low enough to do. Oh, let me hold you in my arms just once again. Let me kiss you. Feel your cheek against mine. Your tears. Your precious tears, my darling. Oh, let me drink your tears. Ladies and gentlemen, we now present George Edwards in Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Well now, nurse, that seems to be the lot for today. Oh, how's that kettle of yours?
Just about boiling. Would you like some tea?
Very much. I'll have a word to Dr. Lanyon, and then I'll be along.
You'll find him in the dispensary talking to Nancy.
Oh, good Lord, not again. What do I pay that young woman for if she does nothing but lure my assistant away from his work?
I wish they'd hurry up and get it over.
Well, judging by what I saw through the glass door last night, he isn't wasting any time.
Neither is she, if you ask me.
Well, I imagine we'll be giving them our blessing very soon. I'll be sorry when she goes. She's a first-rate chemist.
She was talking about doing some research. Perhaps she could work with you.
Not with me. I've given up. I've given up all that now.
Oh, surely not. Oh, that seems wrong. You were doing such valuable work.
Enough to prove to me, Peter, my dear, that insufficient knowledge is an extremely dangerous thing.
Oh, but you mustn't. What about your work on anesthetics and the possibility of nerve blocks?
How did you know about that?
I'm an ardent reader of the Lancet, don't forget.
And you just forget all you ever read about me. It's over and done with. And if you could look into my laboratory, you'd find the whole place covered with dust.
I never thought you'd give up.
Give up? Is that what you call it?
Isn't it that?
Why do you think so?
You had a bad breakdown from overwork, but that doesn't mean you should give it up altogether.
Nurse Peters, do I take it that you're daring to criticize the conduct of your medical superior? Where's your knowledge of professional etiquette?
My professional etiquette isn't strong enough to stand the thought of you becoming a back number.
Woman, go and boil your kettle and leave these matters to your betters.
You can make a joke of it. But I think you ought to be ashamed of yourself, Henry Jekyll.
Ah, bless you, Peter. You're the first person who scolded me like that since Mother died. I didn't know how much I'd missed it.
If it's a mother you're in need of...
Oh, don't think that you'd be any good as a candidate. You're far too young and pretty when you blush like that.
Oh, please don't.
I mean it.
Go and see Dr. Lanyon. You're wasting time again.
Well, I won't come back if you don't give me toasted crumpets with my tea.
You've been looking in my cupboard.
Oh, no, I haven't. I've got second sight.
Well, then perhaps you can tell me what I'm going to give you to put on them.
Of course I can. Strawberry jam.
Wrong. It's honey Mother sent me up from Devonshire. And clotted cream.
Devonshire? Oh, perhaps I can call and see her when I'm down there.
Are you going to Devonshire?
Yes. There's someone down there I particularly want to see.
Will you be going soon?
Oh, as soon as I can fix things up to get away. It's one of the things I want to see Dr. Lanyon about. So I'd better make sure of catching him before he goes.
Stranger down this way, sir?
Well, not really. I've been down here once or twice before.
Can't say as I recall your face. Strange. There bain't many as comes this way that old Jeremy can't remember.
You don't get many visitors, I suppose.
Just now and again, sir. Now and again. Out of the way we be, but none the worse for that.
Indeed you're not. This is a very pretty little village you've got.
Aye, snug it be, tucked in at the back of them hills. I ought to see them come autumn time, when they have us out. A rare sight they be, and no mistake. Stopping long in these parts?
No, not long. I've just come down on business, as a matter of fact. I wonder, can you tell me if any of the Trelawney family are still in the old house?
Trelawney? Aye, that they be. There's old Samuel and his daughter, the same as they always was. It's not likely that they'd ever be leaving the place.
And young Sam?
Aye, Sammy went to South Africa a year or so gone. Naught's been heard of him, as far as anybody knows.
He, didn't get married then?
To Widow Cole's lass. Nay, that were called off long afore he went. She were fit for nothing since that accident she had.
And what became of her?
Well, when her mother died, she were took in by her auntie down at Grogley Halt. Been there this 2 years or more.
And Hester and the old man Trelawney are still at the farm? I wonder, would he see me if I called?
He might. Then he might take a fit into his head and set the dogs on you. Old Samuel's got mortal bitter since young Sammy went away. Oh, they do say it were partly his own doing.
Oh, well, I think I'll take a chance about the dogs. Good day to you.
Good day, sir. Now, what might a young swell like that be doing in these parts? Sticking his nose into other folks' business.
Badger, Rufus, Barney, come here. Stop that barking.
Lie down. Be quiet, will you?
Good afternoon. Be you wanting to see someone?
You're Miss Trelawney, aren't you?
Yes, that's right.
Well, I've come up from London. I was wondering, could I see your father?
Father doesn't see many strangers. What was it about?
Well, I've been asked to come and see him on behalf of a man named Edward Hyde.
Edward Hyde?
Yes.
You'd best not mention that name in this house.
I think if your father would listen to me, I might be able to do something that would make your memory less bitter.
Esther, who's there?
A gentleman's come up from London, Father. He wants to see you.
What about?
I think you'd best be coming inside. Father's not left his chair these 2 years now. If you'll just step this way and mind your head on the lintel. The doors are made low in these parts.
Thank you. Oh, Jekyll is my name. Dr. Henry Jekyll.
What are you talking about, Hester? Who is this stranger? What does he want?
I'm bringing him in now, if you'll only have patience. Through this door on your left, Doctor. This is Dr. Jekyll, Father. He's got something he wants to talk to you about.
Well, if it's about selling the place, he might as well sell it.